I'm going to see how the internet holds up over here because I'm in a different corner of the house. So it's my first time doing it in this area. So we're going to see how it works out. It may be garbage. And if it is, then we'll just move to better quarters. Why is it cloudy? Okay, I'll stand right here so that, yeah, so the light is not bothersome. All right, then. Um, let me try to clean the camera. Hold on, guys. Hold on 1 second. Let me do a little something. Hold on. Yee. Right there. Right there. Okay. Oh. Whoa. Okay. All right. Guys, I have something to talk to you guys about, okay? I got kicked out. Well, not necessarily kicked out, but I got banned from a hotel. I'm going to tell you guys the story about what happened. And then I also have some screenshots that I want to share with you guys because there's some naughty people online and some stupid people online. And I think it would do us well to laugh at them today. So I did take some screenshots and I have them uploaded to this platform so that we can laugh at them together. But first, welcome everybody, welcome. Yes, we are a week late, but who's counting? I apologize for being so late. I really do. But you guys know it's summertime and you guys know what happens to me during the summer times. So I don't think I need to explain. I got kicked out. Well, I got banned from a hotel chain. And I got banned because now let's preface this. Okay, I'm gonna preface this just so you guys can understand where I'm coming from. Sometimes I like to take hotel stays, and sometimes I just need a day to be alone and hibernate. You guys know that it is summertime, and sometimes I need time to hibernate. So I just wanted a night on my own just to hibernate and enjoy myself. So I have a hotel that I love to stay in typically, and this hotel, I have a rewards system with them. I am actually one of their rewards members because I signed up for it and blah, blah, blah. Now, I signed up and I have a reward system. I made a reservation 1 week before my scheduled stay. I made this reservation. I called the lady and made the reservation online because I do not do it myself. I called them and they do it online. So I called the lady. She said, "When would you like to stay?" I said, "Tal y tal." She said, "Okay, your reservation is set." I said, hold on. Before you make the reservation final, I must specialize and make a special request. I do not do any floor but top. I only stay in the top floor of any place that I live in or stay in or sleep in. That's number one. Now, hear me out, guys. I said this in my reservation. I said I need top floor. She said, "Oh, no problem, Miss Amira. We know because you as a rewards member, you have an account with us, and it's already been set up, so you don't have to worry. We know that your reservations are always top floor. Is there anything else?" I said, yes. So top floor, and I'll be staying for the weekend. Now, hear me out, guys. Okay, I get to my hotel. Okay, I get to my hotel 1 day early. And I understand that 1 day early, I understand that you guys were not ready for me. My reservation wasn't until the next day. I understand that if, that day I can't be accommodated, I understand. So the first day I came in, she said, "Oh, I'm so sorry, Miss Amira, but we are having a renovation on our top floor today, but it will be open tomorrow. So today we are going to put you in the floor under the top floor because no one was going to be on the top floor. No one is going to be on the top floor, Miss Amira, so don't worry. So enjoy your stay." I said, "Okay, well, technically it is the top floor because nobody's going to be above me, right?" Now, the next night, the first night went fine. The next night, I woke up the next day. I said, "Hey, that stay was great. I'm ready to move to my top floor accommodations." She said, "Oh, Miss Amira, the what is it called? What is it called, guys? The construction or the renovation or whatever the hell. She said, "Oh, that is running a little bit late. The top floor is still not open." I said, "Oh, okay, that's fine. I mean, as long as there's no one above me, I'm fine." She said, "Certainly. So you'll stay one more night there, and then tomorrow we'll get you up at the floor that you desire." Sure, sure, no problem. I'm a patient queen, aren't I? Now, listen to me and listen to me clear. That night, I stayed there. Everything was running smoothly. The ice was icing. I had their tea there. They had the best tea ever. So I had their tea. I had the everything that they had to offer there. Everything was running smoothly. Tell me why oh God, I got it. Don't worry. I bought my charger right here, so don't worry. But tell me why, guys. Hold on. I don't even want to say anything because I don't want you guys to miss this part. So hold on. Okay. So, all right. So check this out. I stayed there and I said, okay, fine. I am a patient queen. We'll be okay. Guys, 9:47 p.m. I am disturbed because right as I was getting ready to hibernate, as I do, I was getting ready to hibernate, as I do. I hear doop 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 doop, shh shh shh, doop 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 doop, bow. Allahu Akbar. I feel like I'm back in Iraq. Is it the war outside or what's going on? Am I back in Baghdad or what the hell? So I go downstairs. I go down to the front desk lady. I said, "Hi, hi. I thought you said that the top floor was closed." She said, "Oh, yeah, it just opened up." I said, "Oh, wonderful." I said, "Wonderful. Okay. Could you guys move me now?" She said, "Oh no, the top floor is full." How can the top floor be full if it just opened? She said, "Oh no, we just had a huge flux of people come in. So, you know." I said, "Okay, but I had a reservation for the top floor. So can I be moved?" "Well, we don't have any other options right now, Miss Amira." Okay, so there is someone above me who apparently has a couple of chimpanzees, monkeys, donkeys, and elephants. She said, "Oh, I'm sorry, Miss Amira. There was a woman who came in here. She has 3 kids." And I said, "And you put her right above me?" She said, "I there wasn't another option." I said, "Oh, okay, all right, fine, fine, all right. Can you ask the lady with her elephants and donkeys to please quiet it down?" She said, "Sure, certainly. They will be in bed with no problem." Guys, listen to me and listen to me now. I was first in line. I I should be first in line because that's what good hotels do. If a person makes a reservation, they got damn it, you go by that reservation. Now, I make my reservations the way I make them because I know how I am. I know that I get awoken by are any of you guys like that? Are any of you guys like that? Where any single sound, I mean, literally, a mouse could fart and I'm going to wake up. I'm going to wake up if the mouse farts. I every little sound wakes me up. And that's why I said, please do not do that to me because I'm not the deepest of sleepers. Now, if I'm a deep sleeper, I won't care about this. But now, hear me out, guys. Okay, here we go. Now, we're moving on. We're moving on. I'm still being very kind. So I said, okay, listen, just please ask her to put it down by midnight. She said, "Oh, certainly. The children should be well asleep by then." Great. So, guys, here it is. 10 o'clock rolls by. Do, 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 do. 11 o'clock rolls by. Everything gets quiet. Everything is quiet. It's wonderful. I actually started dozing off. As soon as I'm dozing off, I'm woken up at 12. I think it was 12:14, if I'm not mistaken, when I looked at my clock. I guess the children awoke in the middle of the night. So there's noise again. I I'm dealing with it. The night was awful. Let me tell you guys. They finally went back to sleep. When did they wake up? 5:30 a.m. the next day, they woke up again. Doom, 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 doom. Shh, shh, shh. I don't know what that sliding sound was. It's as if they were moving around the furniture in a hotel. Like, what are you doing? All right, hear me out. All of that is going on. And I'm just like, oh my God, I'm just going to call Rachel and I'll just go back to Rachel's house and hang out there. No, listen to me and listen to me well. I go downstairs to the front desk the next day. I said, okay, guys, I only have 1 or 2 nights left. Can you guys please move me to the top floor where my reservation is initially? She said, oh, Miss Amira, I am so sorry, but we don't have anything available. I said, I had a reservation. Does my reservation not mean anything? She said, well, I mean, no, it's just that technically, like, you ordered a single king and we don't have any single kings open. I said, okay, give me the double then. Do what you must. She said, well, we don't even have any of those things open either. And I still see people coming in and getting rooms, guys. There are people getting rooms as she's sitting there telling me that there's nothing of it. I'm like, I'm about to lose my mind. Now, here it is. Here's the reason why I got banned. The reason I got banned is from this right here. Here we go. Night number 3 of me sleeping under the elephant, the donkey, and the chimpanzee. Night number 3 is why I got banned. Night number 3 comes around. Everything is quiet. I'm fine. I get back to the hotel because I've been hanging out all day. I get back to the hotel room. It's maybe like 7 something. I take my shower. I'm getting ready for bed because I go to sleep early like a good girl. So I'm getting ready for bed like around 7:38. I lay down in bed. Everything is cool. Again, 10 o'clock p.m. Do. I'm like, oh my God, why is this happening to me? So, since there were no rooms, I suggested, you know what? Maybe me and her can switch. Since I have no kids with me, me and her can switch. I said, maybe she'll be open to us switching. This is why I get banned. I knock politely on her door. I said, doop, doop. Not, I know you guys are like, you banged on the door. I swear I did not. I wasn't even angry. I knocked 1, 2, 3. She says, what? I said, hey, can I speak with you? She goes, I'm not opening the door. I said, okay, I can speak to you through the door. That's fine. I said, hey, would you be open to, why are you here? Get away from my door. I said, whoa. I was like, okay, lady, I'm not trying to insult you. I'm just talking to you. And she called the front desk and she's like talking to the front desk while she's like standing at the door screaming and acting like I'm assaulting her. She's like, she's banging on my door. I don't know what to do. As I'm literally just standing there waving outside of her to people, like she can see me. I'm like, hi, both of my hands here. I'm not even touching your door. I left her alone because she's a psycho. So I went downstairs to the front desk. The front desk is waiting for me, livid. She's like, you can't do that. You can't. That's a violation of privacy. And I said, what was a violation of privacy? She said, you can't knock on people's doors. I said, so you tell what? Guests knock on other guests' doors all the time. What are you talking about? Like, you acting like I tried to break down the freaking door. She's like, no, that's a violation of privacy. And I could literally kick you out right now. I said, kick me out? I said, lady, I have been being very, very accommodating to this situation ever since I got here. You can look on your little camera. I did nothing wrong to her. She's screaming like a mad woman, acting like I tried to break down her door. You can look at the camera. She says, yes, I will be looking at the camera. And I don't know what we're going to do with you yet. I said, what? We'll do with me? I was like, am I getting complained on? Oh. So anyway, check this out. The very next morning, I go downstairs again. I said, hi, good morning. Can I please get moved to the top floor for my last day here? She said, It wasn't the same lady this time because they do take shifts and stuff. So the new lady there, she's like, "Oh, I need to call my manager first." I said, "Why would you need to call your manager?" I was like, "Oh, I see what's going on here. I see what's going on." The manager left a message saying, "Don't let her rent out again." So here it is. Here's the final thing. She said the woman from upstairs called corporate and complained that her privacy was being violated and that she felt afraid for her life and the life of her elephant, donkey, and chimpanzee. She felt in danger of I'm like, what? So she said she called corporate, and she said because she called corporate, we have to ban you. I said, oh, lovely, lovely. I said, you know what? All is well. It's probably for the best. This has been the worst experience I've had here. I'll gather my things and I will leave right now. Please refund me for the next night that I have here. I won't be staying. And now they tell me I'm not welcome back. And I guess my name was reported to corporate or some crap. I was like, yes, no, oh, Blindy. The manager later called me because I guess later they have to do some type of assessment of incident assessment. She later called me and said, I saw on the camera footage that you knocked on the door 3 times and you put your hands back. So I can clearly see that she was lying and exaggerating because she apparently said that I was shaking the door handle trying to get in. So she said this lady was shaking the door handle trying to break into my hotel room. I felt scared for my life and blah blah blah, and I'm reporting this to corporate. I do not feel safe at this hotel room. Oh my god, huge ordeal. I don't know if I'm still banned. I really don't care. They later sent me an email saying something like, we hope you enjoyed your stay. You have accumulated so many points. You've accumulated this many points from your long stay with us, blah, blah, blah. We look forward to seeing you again. I didn't get any email saying you're banned, you can't come back, and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, so who was wrong? I'm asking you as my pride. Do you guys believe that I was out of line for knocking on the woman's door? Not banging, knocking on the woman's door. If you were in a hotel room and someone came and knocked on your door 3 times and stood in front of the peephole with their hands like this, because that's exactly what I did. I said hi just so she can know that I wasn't like having something in my hand. Now, would you feel in danger if somebody did that pleasantly, not mad and all that? That's what I'm saying, because I know how I would feel. If someone came to my door, I would be like cautious, of course, but at the same time, I wouldn't feel like I'm in danger of my life. You know what I mean? I wouldn't feel like, oh, I'm in danger of my life or this person is threatening. I wouldn't feel that way. I put myself in her situation. I'm like, let me put myself in her shoes. Okay, so you guys don't feel like I was out of line. Okay, I don't feel like I was out of line either, but at the same time, I need to know because some people think differently. Amir, leave me alone. Leave me alone. No, no, no. Suka Mainuka. You know what? And you know what? Normally, the person who is managing that place is a gentleman he's like a Latino gentleman. He's really cool and really nice with me. I think he's gay, but you know, gay people like me for some reason. I don't know. I don't know if they know how I think, but they like me. But anyway, so the other guy who usually manages there is really nice. This time it was like this 35, maybe 37-year-old Latina woman with like bad hair coloring. Her hair is like red. It's colored bright red. It looks, like a fire hydrant, red. So yeah, I mean, my God. She said that customer above you played the Karen card. Exactly. And I'm like, you stupid chick. Like, don't you know they have cameras? Don't you know that you exaggerating? They can see the camera footage and see that what you're saying isn't true. She was out of line and she lied. That's what I'm saying. And the thing is, had there not been cameras, or even if there weren't any cameras, you guys looking at me, even you guys know me, you guys know, even if you meet me 2 or 3 times, you can tell I'm not the type of person to go like jiggling somebody's door and trying to break into their hotel rooms. Like, I mean, you can tell with somebody's personality. And obviously, I'm not the type of person. Said, but if a vampire kicked in your door, I didn't kick in the door. And even if I do look like a vampire, it doesn't look like, well, I mean, at least she didn't have to lie. She didn't have to lie and say that I was jiggling a door handle, for crying out loud, no matter how much of a vampire I look like. She's clearly off of some medication. And I think, and this is exactly the reason why I say when I stay in places, I can never, ever be under somebody, because you get people who are good and considerate sometimes above you and who don't stomp around. And that's when you get lucky. But then you get some assholes who really just don't care, who are just like all about themselves, or or they don't know that they're loud. There's some people who just don't know. They don't know that they're loud. They can't hear themselves. So I mean, I'm understanding of those people too, the people who just don't hear themselves. But my gosh, I talked to Rachel about it, and Rachel was like, Amira, why didn't you cut your hair into a bob and go Karen harder than her? She said, you could have went downstairs and Karen harder than her. I was like, she said, you were at the advantage. You could have said, I can't get any sleep. She keeps stomping, blah, blah, blah. She said, so much noise, blah, 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 blah. She said, you could have went crazy, Amira. You could have went crazy too. I was like, it's not my style. It's not my style. I have class, okay? I have class. I'm not going to do that. It's silly. It's silly. Come on. I got Karen. Is that what it is? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. You know what? I think you're right. You're too small to teach them how to fly, Amira. That's why they like you. Mm-mm. Stop it. Stop. Her hair is a red flag. Fire hydrant red. Fire hydrant red. It says all people must be announced. No, what do you mean? She says, so you were calm through the entire ordeal? No. When I went downstairs on day 2 to talk to the manager, I was a little frustrated with the manager. I wasn't as calm. I wasn't as calm as day 3. Day 3, I just wanted to make a deal. I was like, let's just make a deal. Let's try to work it out. But day 2, I was furious because I have a reservation. I had my reservation a week earlier than my stay. So why is it not being honored? Why is my reservation not being honored or respected? Especially when I'm a rewards member. Shouldn't that mean something? Should my loyalty mean something? Do you know what I mean? So yeah, not through the whole entire ordeal. On the day 2,
Okay, she just froze, folks. So we'll see what we can do about that.
yeah, sorry. It just does that. I know eventually it'll come back, but sorry guys.
Okay.
But anyway, so on day 2, that was a day that I was upset. So yeah. So no, I wasn't calm throughout the whole entire thing, but yeah. She sounds mentally disturbed. I think so. I think so. But I look internally all the time when incidents like that happen. I always look internally and think, was there something that I could have done to make that situation better? I'm like, I mean, you try to speak to someone as another human. You wouldn't expect that they're going to treat you like that. You don't expect that they're going to treat you like you're some type of a serial killer. Now, if I were a man, I wouldn't have gone to her door because obviously, but she was a woman. I'm a woman. I didn't feel like it was weird. What if the woman ran out of garlic and was scared? You want to get banned? You want to get banned? You're going to get blocked. You want to get blocked? You can't talk about garlic on this channel, okay? We don't talk about poisonous substances over here. Oh, right, Fionn. Fionn says, I heard recently that they don't prescribe Xanax anymore. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk to you guys about is this. Your response should have been, you don't need to ban me from this day forward. You couldn't pay me to stay here. After reviewing the event, corporate should have refunded your bill and offered you a voucher for future stay. I mean, you would think, especially, and that's why I said when they sent me that email saying, "We hope you enjoyed your stay. You have accumulated, so many points." Because I accumulated a lot of points from that stay. I'm like, so you think if I was actually banned, they would have sent me an email saying, "Oh, we are unfortunately you are not allowed to return to our so and so, our sister hotels or what have you." I never got that type of email. I never got the, you are not allowed to return email. I never got that. All I got was the thank you, please come again. Thank you, come again. I'm like, oh my God. Says, this isn't a mental illness episode. She was doing something sus and was hiding it. No, you think so? But what could she be doing? She had children in there. Oh, never mind. I don't even want to think about it. Never mind. Ugh. Idril, I don't know. I don't know. That sounds. Is that evil a joke? They're like, yeah, please come again. And as soon as I come back, oh, you're getting arrested for trespassing. I'd be like, but the email. Well, like, but the email said. Oh, oh, Blindy. You know what? I don't mean to say this, but damn bitches, bitches. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to say it, but man. Okay, so the next thing I want to share with you guys is this. If you get mad enough, you'll just buy the place while you're sleeping. Oh, you guys know that happened before. I'm not doing that again. I no. Do you guys know that I have to deactivate some of my apps when I sleep? Because there's a way, if you have an iPhone, you can put it in sleep mode. And sleep mode, you can deactivate certain apps. So every night I put my phone on sleep mode and those apps are all deactivated. So I can't do that anymore. All right. So the next thing I want to share with you guys is this. I'm going to pull it up and show you guys on screen. Okay. So I was watching. Oh, no, that's not the one I'm talking about. That's a different one. This one. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Let me find the top piece. Here it is right here. Okay, here it is. So I was watching this 1950s. Here, I'll sit over here. I was watching this 1950s type of show. In the 1950s girl, she's basically making fun of the 1950s women and how they were always homemakers and they were always at home but they were so smart and sophisticated and always making new foods and jello pies and all this stuff. So anyway, I like to watch weird stuff like this. Now watch this. Somebody commented on this video. Man, the crap we did to women in the 50s was awful. But that baby blue mid-century style sleeve dress is absolutely gorgeous. Beautiful comment, right? I mean, well, not really beautiful because he's like, oh, the crap we did to women was awful. Like, what crap? What crap happened in the 50s? All right. Anyway, so if you guys look to the other comments, somebody said, we deserve a world where we could have cute dresses like this and rights. Now, here's my part, okay? Here's where I came in later. Wait. Yeah, here it is. I commented saying, oh, no. This is someone else. Somebody said, speaking truth to power right there. Rights and cute dresses for all. So later on, I came in saying something like this. I said, it's ironic that women look more haggard and miserable than ever now. I guess all those quote unquote rights are having an effect. No matter how miserable modern women say women of that era were, families stayed together, children did much better, schools were actually teaching, and divorce was almost unheard of. Now, women are working 2 to 3 jobs to support themselves and their cat or on the dole because they are single mothers. Children are failing in every way. Schools don't even teach children the minimum. Oh, and divorce rates are through the roof. Feminism did great. When women are happier, everyone else loses loses, it seems. I said everyone else loses, it seems. So I said this to that comment, right? I wanted to speak to you all about this. These stupid chicks out here who are constantly talking about how miserable times were back in so and so time or back in so and so day, it really pisses me off. And my thing is, listen guys, how is it that all of a sudden, with all the rights and the freedom and all the bull crap that women say that they wanted, why is it that every time women are happier, everyone else is miserable? Have you guys noticed that? I've noticed something. When men are happy, everyone else wins, typically, even other men. But when women are happy, men and children and even other women lose. How is that possible? And it's not some type of paradigm. It's given, it's a fact. I mean, every time in history we see that, I mean now is the best time, but we see that women are supposedly the happiest ever now, aren't they? Supposedly, statistically they should be. They have all the rights and opportunities that men have, if not more. They they can divorce and be free anytime they want, right? Right? They can be strong and independent, right? Right? They they can choose who lives or dies, right, with the abortion laws and all that. They have all the freedom. They can buy homes, they can own property, they can have credit cards and have debt. They can do everything. But they tend to be more miserable now. And this is why I say, don't listen to women when they tell you what makes them happy. Look at what actually gets results, because what women tells you makes them happy is not what really makes them happy. Most women, even when it comes to men, if you ask the average woman, what do you want in a man? They will say, oh, I want him to be able to communicate. I want him to be tall, rich, and handsome. I want him to not be a mama's boy. I want him to see me as a queen and to pamper me. I want a man that is not violent, who is not misogynist. I want a man that can actually express himself and his feelings and blah blah blah. And once that man is actually in front of them, they're disgusted by him. Why? Oh, he's soft. Oh, he doesn't love his mama. But he's not a mama's boy. Yeah, but he doesn't love his mama. He Everything that they want is the exact opposite of what they actually need. This is and I hate doing this every single time. I hate doing this. I hate being me. I hate it sometimes. I hate being a woman sometimes because god damn it, I'm talking about myself here. And do you guys realize how much of a how much of a mind fuck that is actually? But at the same time, it's true. It's freaking true. What does one do when the thing that they've realized is actually detrimental to themselves? What does one do? I am not afraid to still say it, even though supposedly it would be me taking away my rights and me. I don't want it. I don't need it. I don't. Why? 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 What did I say? What did I say? I didn't.
Mind fuck.
All right. Listen, there's not a better word for it. I don't what is a better word for it? I don't know a more civilized word to describe what that is. Can anyone else give me a better word than that? I mean, that actually describes that. You know what I mean? the and the goat cheese and the goat cheese and the no, that just doesn't, it doesn't. No, Lipo, it doesn't have the same to it. You know what I mean? It doesn't have the same effect. It's like mind boggling, mind juggling, mind fuck. Sorry. Sorry. I meant mine as in mine and hein and hell and sig hell. No, psych. Sorry. I'm sorry. I've been watching too much German. All right. So the next thing is I and the hummus. Willie and the hummus. The hummus. You gotta end the hummus. You telling me the hummus? And somebody, I think it was like a comic who said this. He said like the best food in the whole world comes from countries where women are the most oppressed. Food from countries where it's egalitarian or where women are equal or where women have rights sucks. Sucks. Food from places where women are oppressed is great, is the best in the whole world. Think about it. Think about it. Asian food. Women, you gotta shut up. You gotta shut up and Asian food, so good, so tasty, so many spices, so much flavor and smells and blah blah blah. Middle Eastern food. Rich and herbs and saffron and garlic and healthy and good. It's beautiful, beautiful. Swedish food, Swiss food. Come on, guys. You guys know where are we going in here? Where are we going? You guys know. American food. American food can be great. The only okay. Wait. When we talk about American food, I think about Texas. I think about Texas grill, brisket, ribs, not pork ribs, but the ribs that I like. I think about meat that's been slow cooked for 4 to 8 hours that you barely even touch it and it just ah. Now that is what I think about when I think about American food. But guess who makes that? Men. Typically it's men who make that. So Aaron husband makes the Prussian food. You guys are funny. No, Aaron, Starbucks and crumble cookies. Look, British food. Look, egalitarian. Mm? In Britain, women and men are more or less equal, and their food sucks. It sucks. It sucks. I lived in Britain. I can tell you. I still call it Britain, but still lived in UK. Their food sucks. Even they tried to copy Indian food, and they can't even do that right. They tried to make their own style of curry. The British curry. It's garbage. Oh my God. Russian food is excellent. They only have like 3 dishes. Like, come on. Really? Borscht is not what? What? Are we going to fight now?
No, we're not going to fight. I just wanted to relate. So, as you know, I stream with some British people myself, and when I mentioned to them that all of their food has sucked since the World Wars because they never really got over the kind of rationing that they had to do back then, and so his argument was, well, no, now we've got all this wonderful spice food. I was like, well, that's imported Pakistani food. It doesn't count. It's not British.
But then they tried to make a British style to it. They call it no. They try to make a British like version of Pakistani or Indian food. And I'm like, stop it. Just stop it right
Yeah,
now.
they just take all the spices out. That's how they make that.
Oh, no, it is curry without the curry. Brilliant. It's just butter. You're like spitting it out at the dinner table. No. Abe is crying. Cry me a river, Abe, and make that river the Grand, and then cross it. Sorry, I'm sorry. Okay, I'll be good. But all right. So I think that the other picture that I wanted to show you guys was this one. Okay, so since we're here, Okay, so that was that one, and that was that one, and no, stop. Okay, that was that one. Okay, cool. I showed you that one. No, so this one. Okay, this one from was from a black video that I watched. Right now, that's not really a nice way to put it. A black video. No. Okay, so there is this saying. Okay, there is this saying, and I know. Look, I might have to be a little bit racist right now, guys, but I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. You guys know I'm not really racist. You guys know that, right? I mean, you guys understand that I'm not really, you know, I'm not one of them. Okay, I'm Amira. So, um, so there is this comment, right? There is this comment that goes around quite often, especially when I talk to other, people online, and this comment is it goes like this: Well, Amira, you had to come to our country. You are an immigrant in America. You had to flee from your country to come here. Black people built this nation. I'm sorry, can you say that again? Black people built this country, Amira. Oh, that's what I thought you said. Oh, oh, okay. Now, I don't want to ruffle any feathers. I'm just saying that let's break down this. Let's break it down. For the black people who are trying to claim that they built this nation and to claim that this country is theirs because they built it or so on and so forth, this is not a flex. I tried to say that to someone in the comment section and they went straight liberal on me. They went libtard on me. But here it is, here it goes. I said, it is not a flex for you to come and tell a person like me that you built this country because your people, your race did not build this country. You were used as a cog in the machine by people. You built the dreams of other people. You were told to do what you did. You didn't build this country because you had a dream and you wanted to make something. You did what you were told to do. That is not a flex. It's not a flex. And for someone to come out and to say, oh, we own this country because we built it. How did you build it? Well, we were told to do. So what have you done to build this nation since you were forced? Now that you're not forced to do anything, you're not forced to work, you're not forced to build. What have you built now? Now that you're free. You cannot flex about something that you were forced to do. You can only flex about things that you innovated or that you have to have a vision in your own mind to make something unless you are forced and told what to do. I would not I as an Arab or what have you, I could not be proud of my ancestors who would come out and boast and say, we built Saudi Arabia. We built Saudi Arabia in chains, and you're telling me that I'm supposed to think that I own that because slaves built, like, I just don't understand the mentality behind it. And I'm like, the people who actually built it, the people who had that dream about making something, about making the best constitution that has ever existed for a nation, that's the person that built the country. You didn't have the dream, you didn't have the vision. So I don't think that someone who didn't have the vision should try to take credit for something like that when it's really bad and it makes it look bad. And I'm thinking to myself, like, when I was taught, oh, well, actually I didn't think to myself. I will share screenshots when that person responds again. But I mean, just hearing those things from people, and I'm like, why would you say something like that? Because it doesn't make you look good. It doesn't look good. When you talk about building, I mean, listen, guys, you guys know This is not a competition. It's not something to make anybody feel bad. But look at the continent of Africa. When we're talking about building, I mean, you Africa has been I don't I want to say I'm going to say it. Africa has been raped, literally, quite literally raped of all of her diamond, gold, precious metals, everything. And the thing is, the only way that they would be raped like that is because the people who owned that land originally didn't know what they had. They didn't know what they were standing on. They didn't know the value of what was at their feet. That is not something to brag about. It's not good. It doesn't look good. So for anyone to come out and say, Amira, you shut up, you immigrant. We built this country. You can go back to your country. Listen, at least, at least, people who migrate here, at least they come here and contribute. You don't have anything to say there. It's not right. It's just I don't know. I don't know. What do you guys think about it? Because I that's how I feel about the situation. Rhonda says, who actually wrote the Constitution? Not them. But that's the thing. And I'm like, why would you try to take credit for something and somebody whipped you on your back like a mule and said, get this, grab this, slave. Pick this up and put it over there, slave. Hurry up. And you want to say, like, we built this nation. Says they've been burning down since. But that's the thing. And I don't want to say, and the thing is, I never want to say these things because it's not nice to hear. I understand that nobody wants to hear that about their own people or their group of people. Nobody wants to hear that kind of stuff because obviously people get tired of hearing negative things about one group of people. I get it. I understand that. But when you start saying things like that to me, my logic is this. My logic comes back as this. Because now that you're not forced to build anything, what have you built in America? What have you done for this country that has pushed America forward since you have not been forced to work? They were used by Democrats, and now they're still being used by Democrats. And the cycle continues, doesn't it? The cycle just continues. Says Amira went straight to Coney Island for Nathan's hot dogs and potato knish. Okay, stop. So why did they build in the racism? Oh, I is that like saying that the hammer built this house? The hammer thought up the idea of how to build the house. The hammer is the one who drafted all the architectural work. The hammer is the one who knew. Exactly. Okay, so the next thing I want to share with you guys is this. I want to give you guys the news. So hold on, let me bring it up 1 second. Aaron, did you just send me an email? What are you talking about, girl? Oh, it's okay, Aaron. It's fine. Aaron is so sweet. She's like, I didn't mean to do that. Aaron, I'm easily offended. Don't worry. Right? Like, I'm easily offended. Okay. Are you guys ready? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Look at the news. Oh. Are you guys ready? I'm not ready for this news. I'm not ready. Oh, wow. I'm not ready for this. Okay. All right. Here we go. I'll start with this one because this one is the most cliche. Okay. Ready? All right. I don't have my glasses, but it's fine. I'll try to do it without them. I'm hot now. In the news, an illegal alien misses their freeway exit and accidentally self deports themselves. 34-year-old Eric Hernandez was 14 when he was brought to America illegally from El Salvador. Hernandez was temporarily stayed by Obama's DACA program, which he admitted to not that he did not have the authority to implement. You guys know that Obama said that he actually didn't have the authority to implement that 6 months before he did it, but whatever. Now, this DACA program gave Eric Hernandez's parents time to somehow gain legal status in the United States before Hernandez turned 16. Eric started working on becoming a legal resident after getting married to his American citizen wife. She had a baby. She had a daughter for them, and she's now expecting a son in August. Like right now, she's about to give birth, like right now. Now, here it is. Here's the part that got messed up. Eric Hernandez's illegal fairy tale life came to a halt days ago as he was working as a rideshare driver on June the 1st. So this guy was apparently working for like Uber or Lyft or something like that. Eric, he missed a freeway exit in San Isidro, and he found himself in none other than Tijuana. He he went from America to Tijuana. He deported himself. Now, since he is a DACA recipient, Eric has to apply for an advanced parole in order to travel internationally and return to America. Since he didn't have permission to leave and return to the United States, he was stripped of his DACA status, and he is now being held at the Otay Mesa Detention Center, ongoing and expedited deportation removal to El Salvador. He is being sent to El Salvador because his stupid tail didn't know how to follow a GPS. He missed an exit. You stupid fool. I mean, listen. I have sympathy for many people, but if you're that stupid that you knowing that your status is wish-washy, why would you work so close to the border? Why? Are you stupid? I mean, and then you miss the exit like an idiot. Okay, so anyway, so here it is. Eric hired a lawyer. So Eric's lawyer, Valerie Stigamani, is making unproven bribery accusations. Bribery. Okay, bribery. She's saying that the custom agents that stopped him at the border, that one of the agents told him, well, if you pay $800, we'll forgive everything and we'll let you into the US with no problem. So now she's trying to say that the customs agents are corrupt because they said, oh, to pay them $800. Her client, Eric, he expressed his hope that the federales would allow him back into the United States before his son is born this August. But he expressed his fear of returning to El Salvador, a home that he hasn't been to since he was a child. And as for Eric's wife, well, she's worried. Well, she's worried how she's going to make ends meet without Eric around. Of course, you guys remember, she was heavily pregnant when he got arrested or got, deported himself. Idiot. But yeah, she was heavily pregnant, and she still is, when he deported himself. And now she has to take up the load of the children and the bills, the house, everything on her own now. So she doesn't know how she's going to make ends meet. Now, that's her fault. She, as an American citizen, you marry a person without papers. The first thing that you do is get those papers sorted. You do not, as an American citizen, as an American woman, marry somebody who is illegal and you just let that person drive around like that around the border, basically dancing with deportation, dancing with the Chihuahua dog from Taco Bell. Yo quiero Taco Bell. You're basically dancing around that dog, begging to be deported. Why would you do that? Knowing that you're heavily pregnant. But you would think that that's one of the first things a person would get right when you obviously marry somebody Right. Clearly stupid. Hey, Mo. Says, feel good story of the week. Laura, they stopped me on any road. Oh my God. Stupid is as stupid does. He says, I was about to say, there's no way you can go into Mexico without going through outbound at a port or entry. No, there are ways. There are. Well, yeah, by accident. There are ways that you can end up in Mexico by accident. And that's her fault for marrying an illegal immigrant. Wow. Wow. I know. Chalupa. Well, clearly she likes chalupas, doesn't she? No, Yakub. Yakub says, and this is why women can't be leaders. I completely agree. All right, here we go. Next story. Are you guys ready? Next story. Mm-hmm. Okay, I want to do this one. I want to do this one because this one is going to be good. Okay. So, do you guys remember Alexandria Ocasio Cortez, right? So, here it is. An ethics committee decided that AOC violated House rules when she accepted and wore that dress. Do you guys remember that dress that she wore? The tax the rich dress? Here, let me show it to you guys if you don't know what I'm talking about. Hold on, let me pull it up. All right, I'll show it to you guys right here. Wait, I'll show you this one because this one looks like okay. Hold on, guys. I want to pull it up. I want to make it big so you guys can see it. Actually, there we go. Okay, dang it, I can't even. They don't let you. They don't let you see it. Oh my God, my computer's overheating. Ooh, hold on, guys. I need to put it on something. I know what I'll do. Hold on, guys. 1 sec. I just felt it, and I felt that it's hot. Okay. Is this too high? Let me see, because I can't see you guys. Okay, let me see. Okay. Let me, Okay. I know that looks a bit weird, doesn't it? All right, I'll just leave it like that for now. Okay, hold on. So here's the tax the rich dress, and here is the thing. Okay, I guess this is the best picture I can get. All right, I'll share it. Share my screen and add it. Here it is. Now here's the dress that she was wearing. I don't know if you guys can see it. I hope you can. I don't know if I can make it bigger for you. Does that make it big? Yeah, okay. So you guys see this dress, right? This dress, I'll tell you what, big butt. BTK, focus on something else other than that, okay? Listen, this dress is a fiasco. This dress is a catastrophe of fashion. This dress, it looks like toilet paper with period blood on it. Literally. It looks like toilet paper, like a toilet paper roll has been wrapped around her with period blood. This dress is hideous. And she wore this dress just because it said tax the rich. And this dress was praised by Democrats all over saying, "Oh yeah, what a beautiful message." Guys, she looks like a dead bride. This looks like a wedding dress that you see on Halloween. You guys know those people who act like dead brides or something like that? That's what it looked like. Now, the tax the rich dress. A bipartisan report determined that AOC, she impermissibly accepted gifts in connection to her appearance at the Met Gala, which included that dress that I just showed you guys. That dress, the accessories, and free tickets for AOC and her fiance, Riley Roberts. Although it was decided that her rule breaking was not intentional, she didn't intentionally break the rules, but AOC failed to pay full market value for those items, which altogether was valued to be in the thousands, which I do not understand how How? How on God's green earth? How on God's green flat earth? How on God's green flat earth is this person wearing a dress that, or accessories or dress, whatever? None of that she was wearing looked like it valued anything near thousands of dollars. Okay. If that's what thousands of dollars looks like, I'd rather look broke. I'd rather be homeless. I'd rather wear a garbage can or a garbage bag, what have you. I bet you I could wear a garbage bag and look better than what AOC looked like wearing thousands of dollars in clothing. That looked horrible. It looked awful. But anyway, she failed to pay full market value for those items, no matter how ugly they were. AOC paid a grand total of $990 for the dress, shoes, handbag, and jewelry. However, she still owes and she still must pay $2,733 and $250 to cover her fiance's meal at the event. It was reported that AOC paid what she owed once she found out about the House review into her actions. So she was basically given that dress and those accessories and everything that you guys saw in that video or that picture. She was given all of those things just to set an example or to, send a message. Now, the reason why she's being reviewed is because the House says she is not allowed to do that. She's not allowed to accept money like that to, send messages and so on. What do you guys think about that? Can you guys grow up? When are you going to grow up? When? When? I have known you guys for 4 years already. When are you going to grow up? When? I've been waiting for just a little hint of maturity. I have not encountered even a hint, uh, nothing, an iota, a microscopic dust particle of maturity growth out of any of you. In fact, I think we are regressing. I think that you guys are regressing in maturity here. No, no, since I've met you all. No, no, hear me up. No, hear me out. You guys have not grown. You guys have not gotten more mature. Okay? I think that this is just how they get the dress on a donkey. Listen, as I'm talking about the immaturity, it just keeps going. You guys do not even hear me. Are you guys even listening to me? Am I just here going back, 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 back? And is that what you guys hear? Oh my gosh. I'm talking to you guys. All right, see. He said, I keep telling you, Amira, we don't grow up, we grow old. Okay. All right, I want to give you guys something else. Here we go. Ready? Guys, please clean AOC's butt out of your guys' brains just for a second, okay? I'm trying to move on with different news. Clear up AOC's backside out of your brains. Let's refresh. Let's keep it together here, okay? Focus. Demon rats are fighting to keep dead people on their voter rolls. Now, several lawsuits, as you guys know, have flooded courtrooms across this great country in recent election cycles. Due to serious concerns about the integrity of ballot boxes being compromised, illegal invaders have been voting in local, state, and federal elections. People voting twice, as you guys know, dead people, thousands of dead people, rather, have been voting, and they've been casting their votes in 3 a.m. sudden spikes. So all of a sudden, a bunch of dead people start voting at 3 a.m. Now, why is that a thing? I guess, well, the dead are most active at 3 a.m. So, but the crazy thing about this 3 a.m. voting, every time we see these spikes of dead people voting at 3 a.m., it always somehow seems to benefit the Democrats. Always, always seems to benefit the Democrats. It never is 3 a.m. voting for Republicans. No, no, no. In response to all of these developments and the Democrats' own demands for election integrity, so they say that they want, after accusing Trump of cheating in this last election, Congress is now attempting to scrub out ancestors from the voting rolls so that their votes can finally rest in peace. Because we have not let the dead people rest in peace at all. They are still out here paying taxes, property taxes, voting. I mean, they haven't been able to rest. The dead in America will never rest. Do you guys remember I told you guys that in America, you'll never get a chance to rest? Because even when you're an 80, 90-year-old person, you've paid off your house, you've paid off your cars, those property tax people are still going to come knocking at your damn door to get more money for property taxes. And if you don't pay, they can take your house from you, the house that you already paid for. This is, I mean, that bothers me so much. I don't know if it bothers you guys, but it bothers me so much when I think about that. Every time I think about that property taxes can still get your house taken away from you at old age. If you can't pay property taxes, it bothers me so much. But nonetheless, we have dead people still voting, and they always vote Democrat. Yes, dead people have always voted for Democrats. It's normal, you know. I didn't know that. See, I didn't know that. I didn't know that the dead did anything, honestly. I didn't know. Yakub says the only reason why dead people vote Democrat is because the Democrat Party is dead. The more you know. Taxation is theft. And the thing is, okay, people are mad at Trump right now, right? People are mad at Trump. They're saying, oh, Trump is taking away the education system. Trump is taking away Medicare. Trump is taking away Social Security, blah, blah. Listen to me and listen to me good. Trump is doing God's work. Because I tell you what, those things that people are trying to say are so good, those things were corrupt and not helping America anyway. The education, what is it called? The Department of Education. The Department of Education, if they were actually doing their job, if they were actually doing good for America, our schools wouldn't be at the bottom of the list worldwide. We wouldn't be under socialist nations, poverty-stricken nations, third world nations. We wouldn't be under them if it were true that the Department of Education was actually doing their damn job. So if you're not doing your damn job, you deserve to be damn fired. That is how that works. I don't understand. I don't understand why that is a hard concept to understand. Why would we want to keep a failing system in cycle? Why are we keeping dead systems or dead? No, they're not working. Let them go. So all those people out there, especially the Democrats are constantly saying things like, Trump doesn't care about education. Trump doesn't care about old people. Trump doesn't care about children. Trump doesn't blah blah blah. And you know, and the worst part is that so many Americans see things like that and they're like, oh, the Department of Education is being under attack. He took away the Department of Education. Guys, it's in the name, Department of Education. So that means Trump doesn't care about education. Do you guys remember 1984, the book 1984? I hate referencing it sometimes, but I have to. Remember when they were talking about the Ministry of Truth? Even though the Ministry of Truth was anything but. And this is the funny thing. They make the names seem like something that are so good. They make them seem like there's some things that are so good and so integral and necessary. But in truth, these are the things that are corrupt. These are the things that serve us not. And when you take them away, stupid people like sheeps, they see Department of Education or Ministry of Truth, and they see these names that look so important, and they're like, oh, don't take that away, when you're not realizing that that is just a facade. I've seen people, guys, I've seen people out here, especially online, having these huge debates, and really going at it, talking about how Trump doesn't care about education because he's taking away the Department of Education. Have you guys seen those people? Tell me you guys have. I've seen them. I'm sure you guys have seen them. There's no way you haven't. The USAID has crippled the Democrats. They needed to steal so long that when it stops, they can't survive. I know. The Department of Education took the United students from number 1 to number 29. And the thing is, why is it that countries like Cuba, China, why are they above us? Why? Especially Cuba? I mean, I understand China because of math. The Chinese system of math, it just is more easy to understand than the American system. That there's no debate about it. Chinese, it's in the language how they do math. That's why it's so much easier for them to do math than it is for Americans and Westerners. But Cuba of all places, like how are other places doing so much better in school than us? You know what? Do you guys know something else? When you see these schools, I see, I mean, you talk to the average kid. I mean, okay, if you talk to the average kid today, most children don't even know what America's capital is. Most children cannot name the capital cities of the 50 states. Hell, they can't even name the 50 states. Most children are not being taught the basics. They don't know anything. But if you ask them, oh, I don't know, who's the biggest star on TikTok? Or what is transgenderism? Or what is the best way to promote racial equality? They have an answer for that, no problem. So it shows you the things that the school values and teaching them. My God. He said, who's ranked those country and by what standard? Oh, Lepo. Another thing. You want to talk about rank and standard in countries? I looked up something because remember we were talking about how black people say that blacks built America and blah, blah, blah. I just did some scrolling on my own, right? I went online to check out IQs around the world. When you see IQs around the world, it made me think about something because someone has said to me something like, "Oh, do you know that IQ has to do with race too? Like if you're a certain race, you're more prone to having higher IQs, or if you're that race, you're prone to having lower IQ." And I was thinking to myself, I said, I don't think that it's about race. I think it's about region where you grow up, because, and it also does have to do a little bit with race, but if you stimulate a child's brain from very young and get those, what is it called, those connections firing early, they will naturally learn to notice patterns faster. They will learn how to think on their own faster. They will just do things naturally. But you have to spark those connections. If you don't spark those connections, a lot of people grow up dumb, and they grow up not curious about things, and they don't notice patterns and figure out things. They can't figure out things for themselves without being told, and so on and so forth. Yeah, thank you. Synapses. God, I can't say the word right. But you guys know what I meant. So I was looking, right? And as I was looking at this global picture showed IQs for every continent. And in Africa, it showed the average IQ in sub-Saharan Africa, just the sub-Saharan part, is 60. They said that they have an average IQ of 60. Now, that's crazy to me because isn't it the standard that in America they consider you to be a moron if you are IQ of 70 or 75? Aren't you considered retarded if you are under 60 or something like that? Isn't that the number? So when I saw that, I said, okay, 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 there must be something else going on here, because you don't see that they're not retards over there. They're not retarded. So there has to be something else going on. As I looked on it, I looked at the IQ test and I said, is the IQ test skewed to European or Western knowledge, or you know what I mean? And it said, no, the IQ test is international. It's an international test. It's not based on regions or what have you, because the IQ test is not knowledge of the United States or Western culture. It is about pattern recognition and something else. I forgot what the other one that was. So when I saw that, I said, "There, okay. So, what does that even mean? What does that mean for the world? Because is that why you see places like China, old Britain, when Britain was colonizing and all that, every other nation, France, was able to go to the continent of Africa and basically colonize, dominate, take whatever they wanted. And hey, I'm not no raging liberal, but let's be real here. Pretty much every part of Africa was dominated except Ethiopia. So I'm like, why even Arabs? I mean, even Arabs going over to North Africa and basically dominating there too. So I'm like, why is it that every part of Africa was able to be dominated by every other race? Now, China. Now, China is going to Africa to dominate Africa and to steal all of their resources. So I'm saying, why is it that Africa is so prone to being dominated? And you know what I mean? And they can't live off their own devices. Why can't they live on their own and say, we don't need to be dominated, we can do our own thing? Why aren't they the ones getting rich off of selling their own resources instead of having people like Chinese come over and take their resources and sell it for millions and billions? Why? Why is it like this? And I don't know if it has anything to do with IQ, but I really don't think that the average. Wait, I'll show it to you. I'll show you guys here. I'll show you what I'm talking about, just in case you guys think I'm like lying or something. Um, okay, here we go. All right, I will share my screen so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Why is my mouth so dry? I am so. Okay, here we go. So here it is. Here's the thing on this side where it says average IQ 60.16. 60.16 is the average IQ in the whole continent of Africa. And this is the reason why I said, why is that? How is that possible? Do you guys see what I'm saying? But then I look on other maps. Other maps say something different here. I see this one says a little bit better. This one says it's between 70, I guess you could say 70, 75. So what do you guys see when you guys see things like this? Hydrate. I know, I need to. I'm sorry. I didn't actually bring any water. Didn't bring any water. Yakub says no one thinks you're lying. I don't know, but look, listen. Sometimes when people say things, sometimes people say things like, "Here, oh, well, how do we know what she's saying is true? How do we know that she's not just pulling this out of her backside? How do we know that she is not saying something just to make us believe something that's not true?" This is the reason why I showed it to you, because I don't want you guys to think that I'm over here like hoo hoo hoo. Because a lot of people call me racist and say, "Oh, you're racist because you did." No, it's not racism. I'm just talking about what I saw. But yeah, military will reject you around 40. Well, that would be irresponsible to have somebody with an IQ of 40 going onto the battlefield. That would be extremely. Oh, it says each with different scales. Do you think No, 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 Fion. What do you mean by different scales? So you're saying that in their scale, 60 is like 100 in our scale? Says, we don't call them retards in America. We call them democrats. John Doe, get it together. Get it together. Why would you make me read that fully, knowing that? All right, all right. So you're just gonna let me? You gonna let me do that? IQ of 80 is considered barely functional. Coco the gorilla scored 80 on the standard IQ test. But wait, somebody else said, I forget who it was. I think it was Fionn. I think Fionn said that they have a different scale, Neil. So Neil, maybe on their scale, 60 is like 90. I don't know. I don't know. But all I'm saying is it looks bad, but it also makes sense. It makes sense. It looks bad, but it makes sense. And I'll tell you why it makes sense without being too judgmental. The reason I say it makes sense is because you would see that people who have lower IQs don't tend to pick up on patterns, don't tend to notice things, don't tend to be able to think well on their own, to make their own conclusions, come up with their own conclusions of things, and they need things told to them. They need to be told the conclusions or something like that. I don't think it's a racial thing. I think it's a continental thing. So for me, I think that what's happening over there is that it's so easy for colonizers or people who want to dominate or take advantage of them to do so. I think so. I think it's just easy. I don't know. I mean, I couldn't think of anything else. Like, do you guys have any other speculations? I mean, I'd like to know Kamala's IQ. Can we keep it together, guys? Can we keep it together? Let's keep it together. John Doe's IQ is clearly zero. Oh, John Doe says it's clearly zero. I thought you were going to say John Doe's IQ is zero. I was like, stop it. It says, our dear leaders like people that do not notice things. Lepo, that is what I'm talking about. So think about this. If it is true that leaders love people who don't notice things and who need things to be told to them, and they need very simple situations, problems. I don't know how to say it. The word is on the tip of my tongue, but they need things to be simplified for them, and they need to be told the answers to things instead of coming to answers by themselves. What do you think that does in America? Now, if you think that people, they're easy to dominate in Africa, in parts of Africa, maybe because of the IQ level, but think about America. The leaders that we have here, who do they target the most? They target the schizophrenics. I'm telling you, they use the schizophrenics against the regular people. The schizophrenics are the people that you guys see saying, please don't use gender language. Do you guys remember that guy? Tell me you guys remember that guy. That guy who could barely breathe out of his nose. And he was he stood up because at this convention, the lady who was talking at the convention here, she was like this. She said, okay, guys. All right, guys. Now let's sit over here, guys. Okay, bring this over here, guys. And then this random person in the crowd gets up and says, please don't use gendered language. Tell me you guys remember that. These are the type of people I'm talking about. These are the schizophrenics of the world. These are the mentally ill. These are the, tell me you remember. He sounded like he was having a stroke. I was like, when I was listening to this, I was like, somebody called a doctor. I mean, seriously, what's going on over here? But okay, wait. These are the people. These are the people that these types of leaders like to target. These are the people that they want to be their followers. Because they know these people will be very loyal. They're very easy to control, very easy to convince. They don't ask too many questions because as long as you can convince them, they're in. They're not going to ask you too many things about it. And they're very emotional. It's so easy to control someone when you have control over their emotions. This is why it is so important to take control of your own emotions, because if you are not in control of your own emotions, someone else is going to take control over them for you, and they're going to use them against you. I would say even against you, use them at your detriment. But this is what I'm talking about. So you see in Africa that thing happening, how you see the French, the British, Americans, the Chinese now, Arabs, everybody is able to go to Africa, colonize, take their stuff, take the diamonds, take the gold, do whatever the hell they want, and leave Africa high and dry. The people who are actually living on that land, the people who are actually there, don't get none of the wealth. They don't get none of the money. But the people who colonized and came over there, they take it and they run. So I'm like, Africa's constantly getting robbed. And I think it's an IQ thing. It could be a, I don't know. I mean, it has to be something. So anyway, next thing I want to give you guys, docile, obedient lemmings. Stop it. Don't talk about your wife, Frost. Don't talk about your wife like that. Okay, the next thing I want to give you guys is this. Ted Cruz. Republican Senator Ted Cruz and several co sponsors introduced an anti riot support bill. Now, why would we need an anti riot support bill? Senator Ted Cruz and others have introduced a bill making it illegal to fund rioters. If this is passed, the nefarious demonstrations and the extremist riots, you guys know, the funders, the George Soros of the world, the Oprahs and all of them, they will hold financiers, vandals, and the rioters responsible by using the full RICO toolkit at their disposal, all in the name of justice. The goal is to deter the abuse of nonprofit status and to expose hidden financial pipelines hidden behind politically motivated violence. US Representative US Representative told news outlets that it was time that law enforcement were provided the necessary tools to combat violent, property destructing mobs and their financial backers. So, what does that mean? Tell me, guys. Tell me, what does that mean? What does it mean when we give law enforcement the tools that they need to combat those violent, property destructing mobsters? What do we give the police that could help them? I listen, I have ideas, but I don't want to say anything because you guys know. You guys know. As soon as I say something, I'm evil. I'm World War II person. I'm, whatever. I'll leave it to myself. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Okay, there was an illegal alien working as a reserve police officer in Maine. In Maine, of all places. Now, this person who is an illegal alien working as a reserve police officer has been arrested. For what? He was trying to buy a gun. John Luke Evans. He's a Jamaican national. Jamaican with a name like John Luke Evans. Is that normal? Wait. Is that normal for Jamaicans to have such biblical names? Such Christian judo. Wait, is this normal for Jamaicans to have names like that? Am I losing? Oh, actually, Sean Paul, Bob Marley. Wait, so yeah, I guess it is common, isn't it? They do have. Okay, well, John Luke Evans, a Jamaican national, illegal alien, and somehow a police reserve officer in Maine. He's been arrested by ICE for attempting to illegally purchase a firearm. There was no concern. I'm sorry, well, there was a concern. There was a concern over Evans' immigration status when he applied to purchase that weapon, which caused his purchase attempt to be flagged by the ATF. Evans entered the United States through Florida back in September of 2023 on a visa that required him to leave by October 1st of that same year. Now, as you guys know, we are no longer in 2023. We are in the year of our Lord 2025, which means that he is 2 years overdue. And when he was confronted about his attempt to buy this firearm, Evans told authorities that he was just purchasing a gun for his role as a reserve police officer. After his statement, ICE probed how an illegal alien could become a police officer reserve or otherwise and be in America illegally. How can you work for America's police force and you are not actually part of America? Well, Maine is apparently one of several states that allows green card holders to become members of law enforcement, but this does not explain how Evans was able to keep his job, let alone get hired in the first dang place. Some people slip through the cracks. And I think this is what that person did. I love the opening song. I'm sure you would, Groove Master. In case you guys don't know, the person that makes my music on my channel is this guy, Groove Master. If you like his music, he's the one to contact. Thank you, Groove Master, for making the music for my channel. I appreciate it. Kamala! Show me your ID, I'll show you mine. No, I'm just kidding. French bass. Guys, have you guys seen... Okay, tell me if you guys have seen this. Very commonly, I watch videos online, and there are these videos of these police impersonators. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? These people who impersonate being police officers by driving cars that look like they belong with the police, wearing vests, wearing hats that say like DEA, marshals, or something like that. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? These people who impersonate police officers, right? This person that we just talked about, this illegal alien who was attempting to buy a firearm, he said that he wanted to buy that firearm for his job as a police reserve officer. As a police reserve officer, and you want to buy a firearm, a real firearm, so that you can, police American citizens as a non-American. It bothers me. That bothers me. Aaron says, oh yeah. No, guys, those are some of my favorite videos to watch because seeing people squirm and say like, no, I wasn't trying to impersonate being a police officer. There was even one guy who was trying to pass himself off as a U.S. Marshal, right? And he went so far as to still claim to be a U.S. Marshal when real U.S. Marshals showed up. Like, how stupid can you be? It's not even like the U.S. Marshals is a huge band of people, like they're rangers or something. No, U.S. Marshals is a very, very small group of people in America. These are like the real federales, okay? And you claiming to be a U.S. Marshal when there's a real U.S. Marshal there. U.S. Marshals are so small. They're such a small group of people that they know each other in every state. Do you guys know what I mean? They know each other in every state. Like, they're not a big group. So for a person to say like, I'm a U.S. Marshal in the face of a real U.S. Marshal is damn near 50 IQ behavior. Let's watch the video. The woman is like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Oh! Okay, look, I think I'm just gonna have to make that into a video. I think I'm just gonna have to make it into a video because listen, I'm about to lose my voice right now, so I can't I can't continue much longer. But that, oh, we have got to see it. Come on, mama. Come on, mama. Guys, you guys are gonna so love that content because listen, I have a theory, okay? I have a theory of why all these people constantly say, call my mama. And these are only black people who say this. Now, I'm telling you, this is something so, it's irritating too because, and if you guys are like me and you guys watch like police videos and stuff like that, if you guys watch police videos, I watch police videos quite often, and it's always, unfortunately, it's not all of them, but it's always them. That's all I'm saying. It's not always them, but it's always them. And I'm like, I when I see this, I'm like, how can how do police officers, I don't understand how the average police officer keeps themselves composed. You know what I mean? Because some of these videos, I mean, you see these body cam videos, and you know what? The one of the worst things that ever happened to a lot of people out there is body cams, because people thought that with body cams it was going to show how racist the officers were and how evil and maniacal and how bad they were to people, to the citizens, when in reality the body cam videos show how poorly citizens act, really shows all the crap that they have to deal with. And I don't know how they keep their cool on some of these times. Do you guys ever see those videos where people spit? People spit on officers. Oftentimes, landing said spit on the face of the other person. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? And I don't understand how, because I believe, now you guys tell me if this is your natural reaction, but if somebody spits on you and it lands anywhere near your mouth, your eyes, or your ear, your natural reaction is going to be to wind up and go at that person. That's your natural reaction. That's just a human natural instinct. But these officers are able to hold themselves back and not go at, I'm just like, how? And it's not like they're being spat on by somebody who looks clean or somebody who looks, you know what I mean? Like, there's some people that if they spat on me, I will still feel like it's dirty, but at the same time, I wouldn't feel like I'm gonna die after. These people look like they have all types of three-letter combos of diseases in them, okay? These people look dirty, grimy, infected, diseased, and they hawk up a loogie and spit. I am, oh, I cannot. Oh, that's where I go to the chambers because I don't understand how people do it. I really don't. Hazmat shower for me, please. No, Aaron, there is nothing you could do. There is nothing you could do. Nothing you could do. I listen, I just can't. John Doe says that's assault. John Doe, it's assault, but think about this. The officers log that assault that happened. They log the assault of being spat on by this suspect. When the suspect is taken in front of the judge, these liberal, green haired judges, yeah, their hair isn't green on the outside, but I think it's green at the nape, and they just cover it up with normal hair color. But these liberal judges, these Democrat paid for judges, they release these spitters and dismiss the assault charges oftentimes. And I just, and people wonder why police are saying F it and they don't do their jobs anymore. This is why. This is why. Oh my God, my husband's telling me to go to sleep. How dare you? How dare you? How dare you? He's telling me to go to sleep. I can't believe him. All right, listen. He's saying my throat is dry, so I need to go. Whatever. I know my throat is dry. I know. But he's right. I gotta go to sleep. I do. I do. Oh, BTK says there are 94 U.S. Marshals, 3,571 assistant U.S. Marshals, and 1,500 administrative and correction. So you see what I'm saying? You guys see how small the group of U.S. Marshals is in America? That is, and for someone to claim to be a U.S. Marshal, I'm like, do you know how stupid you look by saying that? You can claim to be anything else but a U.S. Marshal, because that is such a small knit group of people. Like, you just stupid, you know, just dumb. No, Blindy. Tell him you're hanging out with Rachel. My husband hates Rachel. He doesn't hate her, but you know, he don't like her. He's like, what does she want? What does she want? Oh my God. Drink some water and go to sleep. I am. I'm going. Okay. Good night, everybody. I gotta go. I'm being put to bed by the husband. All right, everybody. Good night. But thank you all for joining me and hanging out with me for the small time that we have been together. And I do apologize for making you guys wait so long. I have not been feeling well. I have been rather ill, and I am getting better. I'm getting better now, so don't worry about me. I'm fine. I'll be fine. And I think I'm just closing out all my windows. Oh my God, that's AOC's butt again. Ugh, the picture came up again. All right. Thank you all. He says, Baklava says, can I get some prayers? I'm being laid off. Huh. Email me, Baklava. Email me. But anyway, so thank you all. I appreciate you. Have a lovely night. Thank you so much. Thank you guys. Thank you, Amira, and good night. Hope you feel better. I'm already feeling better. I had a great night with you all tonight. As you guys know, I wasn't in the greatest of moods when we started the stream. I'm a lot better now. All right, here we go. You guys ready? All right, let's do the outro. All right. Anyway. Okay. Thank you all for joining me tonight. It has been a pleasure, as it always is. I will go back into hibernation now, if you guys would let me do so. The summer is not over, although I wish it was. But now we are finally in August, which I'm so happy about, because August is that much closer to autumn. So thank you all for joining me tonight. It has been a pleasure as always. And with that, I yield my time. Good night, everyone.
Well, I say every day it's a getting closer to taking a bath with my fucking toaster.